Hello, and this is the Punters Inside Run special Royal Ascot edition. Mick Sharkie joins me. Shark, you're coming off another successful weekend on the punt on Saturday. Well done, mate.
Thanks, Matty. Yeah, it was good. Regal Lion did the right thing by us on Saturday, didn't he? Up at Ipswich, getting the cup for a really good Ben Thompson ride. Actually, took off early and sort of kept the horse going, and yeah, it was there at the finish, thankfully.
All right, Royal Ascot. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the fact that it's arguably the greatest racing carnival in the world. We always take a lot of interest in it, more so when we have Australian runners over there, which we'll cover shortly. But it's hard not to get excited about the quality of racing, and it starts with 3 Group 1s on the first day.
Oh, it's just ridiculous, isn't it? 3 Group 1s on the first day, and your opening race, the Queen Anne Stakes, is an absolute cracker. It's the top mile of British racing, probably a little bit down on star power this year. Modern Games has been the favourite for quite a while, but we'll talk about this fella quite a bit this week, I think, Matty. Frankie Dettori, his last ever Royal Ascot Carnival, and if you look at the markets off the back of the weekend, I think punters are really honing in on him, particularly day 1 and day 2. They're expecting Frankie to have a big impact early. And Inspiral, who's such a good mare, so good first up, she's been backed into favouritism now with most agencies in Europe.
Yeah, it seems to, betting-wise, it seems to be a choice of 2, but the money coming for Frankie's ride. When we get to Australian sprinters over there, we like to put our hand up and say, look, we've got the best sprinters in the world. We've got a couple going around once again in the King Stand. We've got Coolangatta right in the market, and then we've got Cannonball for the Snowden Camp. What are their chances?
Yeah, I think Coolangatta's got a genuine winning chance. She probably hasn't had a faultless preparation heading into this, has she? The gallop in Melbourne before she got on the plane was a little bit iffy. She's worked well at Newmarket since then, which is a real positive. But, Europeans are breeding, particularly the British breeding area, they're breeding faster horses. They've really got the need for speed, and they're focusing on with their pedigrees. And they've got a couple of really nice sprinting fillies here. Highfield Princess is probably their benchmark sprinter in Europe. She won 3 Group 1s last season. She resumed with what was a fitness run, basically. She ran second, was bettered on the day, but it was a run that she'll really slingshot out of. I think she holds favouritism at the moment for the King Stand, and she's definitely the horse to beat. There's a 3-year-old filly who won at Royal Ascot, won the Queen Mary last year as a 2-year-old called Dramatised. She was very good that day, winning over the 5 furlongs up the Royal Ascot Straight. So she's been to the track and distance and done it before. She's returned with a win in the Temple Stakes at Haydock, and that race often throws forward serious contenders for the King Stand. So, look, I'd love Coolangatta to win. I think Highfield Princess and Dramatised will be the way I bet in the race. Cannonball's the other Aussie runner in the race. I just wonder about him. He's improving all the time, but he's 50 kilos last time in the Galaxy. He's up to 60 kilos here in weight for age circumstance. I think he just might find it a little bit tough.
And the other Group 1 race is the St James Palace. Again, betting suggests it's a race in 2, this time between Chaldean and Paddington. And we've got some big names aboard there.
Yeah, we do. And we've got the 2,000 guineas winners from Ireland being Paddington and the UK being Chaldean. Frankie Dettori with Chaldean and getting the job done. They're at the head of the markets. Behind them, it's a bit of a unique race this year. There's horses coming from left field form lines that have been winning by big margins and looking impressive, but are they as good as the 2,000 guineas winners? I'm with Paddington. I just love the way this horse settles. When he's asked to go and win the race, he really quickens up and goes ahead. I think Aidan O'Brien's got a really nice horse here. He looks to be the dominant Irish 3-year-old, and I'm tipping him to get the job done in that race. And I think Aidan will probably have a good night too. The Coventry Stakes for 2-year-olds is also on the card. It's a race he's really made his own. He's got a horse called River Tiber, unbeaten so far, 2 from 2. He's going up against a horse called Asadna, trained by George Bowie. And George is a young trainer who's really honed in on 2-year-olds. And Asadna won his first start by 12 lengths at Ripon. So it's the new versus the old, Matty, in the Coventry. But I think Aidan O'Brien might come out on top.
Mate, I've got the pen out. What have you got for us away from day 1? Further down the track, what am I backing?
Well, day 2, let's look at the Prince of Wales. Adea versus Luxembourg. That's what the market's telling us. Luxembourg coming off the Gold Cup win at the Curragh last time. He's favourite from Adea. I'm going with the runner-up, though, out of that Gold Cup Bay Bridge. He beat Adayar last year at Ascot in the Champions at the end of the season. He was taking ground off Luxembourg. I reckon fitness just told in that last 100 metres of the Gold Cup. I'm tipping Bay Bridge to cause a little upset. The same day, day 2, race 2, the Queen's Vase. Gregory is a horse that's 2 for 2, coming from lesser grades. He went to Goodwood and won a listed race really, really easily last start. Frankie Dettori rides for the Gosdens, who also have a rest in the same race. I think I'll be backing both of those in the Queen's Vase. But if you can wait, Matty, until Thursday night, and I know you're a patient man, but the best bet of the week comes up in race 3 on Thursday, the Ribblesdale Stakes. Al Asifa for the Gosdens again, and Jim Crowley. Filly by Frankel. She's 2 for 2. Look, she's odds on, but fair dinkum. You want to go and have a look at her 2 wins so far. She is something absolutely special, and I think she'll be a headline performer at Royal Ascot this week.
All right, mate, we'd better leave it there. Thank you as always. Happy punting, and I'll talk to you later on about, or later in the week, about what's been going on at Ascot, but also about racing on the weekend.
Good on you, Manny. Looking forward to it.
That's Punters Inside Run, Royal Ascot Special Edition.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.